Let me show you just a handful of some of the fights recently that have been ruined because of eye pokes. Obviously, I'm going to start with last night, right? Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane, UFC Heavyweight Championship main event. It'd been an amazing card leading up to it. Everybody's super excited. This is the fight of the year. It answers so many of the questions between Aspinall and Jones and sets up potential mega fights at the White House. And it gets ruined in one round because Ciryl Gane double eye pokes Tom Aspinall after poking him in the eye 1 minute earlier. March 2024, Chris Weidman versus Bruno Silva. A TKO that gets changed to a decision because Chris Weidman unleashes a combo of eye pokes on Bruno Silva and has him curled up in a ball, not knowing whether or not he's going to be able to see.
Let's address the elephant in the room with the eye pokes. I got poked in the eye too, but this is only my advice to Bruno. Much respect to him. It looked like I touched his eyeball when he was coming in. You can't drop to the ground like that if your eye gets poked. You gotta stand, get the ref. If the ref sees it, then you can't just drop.
Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munoz, UFC 276. Ends in round 2 because of an accidental eye poke. This could have been the test for O'Malley. Maybe he never goes and actually wins the belt. Maybe Pedro Munoz is able to revive his career. We never get to see it. No pun intended. Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, UFC Vegas main event. Round 2, 18 seconds in. Leon eye pokes Bilal Muhammad, goes on to become the champion, and Bilal ends up destroying him when they have their rematch, right? So totally could have changed timelines if that fight was able to continue, but no, more eye pokes. Then there's just like the John Jones fights where no point was deducted, but the threat of the eye poke obviously impacted the fight. Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans, Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira. Jesus, look at what he's doing to Rashad here. He's like basically just literally sticking his fingers in Rashad's eyes going, come on, move forward, move forward. What are you going to do? It's not even putting his hand on his head. It's like literally sticking them in his eyes. Look at this one with Rampage. Rampage is like looking at the referee going like, what the hell am I meant to do when you're sticking your fingers in my eyes, dude? Like, what is this? What? Get your fingers out of my eyes, man. Like, what the hell? Even Michael Bisping, who's super staunch against eye pokes for obvious reasons, he only has one eye. Controversially won a fight against Alan Belcher in 2013 that ended because he poked him in the eye so bad that Belcher had to go to hospital and get stitches in his eye. Like, Aspinall could be in the hospital right now, unable to see. Probably not, right? I really hope not, but it happens. He could be there going like, oh my God, I still can't see out of this eye. Like, am I ever going to be see? There could be a retinal detachment there. Like, if you've ever watched any of my videos or paid much attention, like, you might have noticed that this eye here is a bit messed up. It's because I got eye poked by John Jones and Ciryl Gane at the same time. No, it's actually not. But I had a retinal detachment a few years ago and I've gone completely blind in this eye, right? And it is scary. Now, obviously, it's not from a fight, but when you're in the middle of the octagon, you've got the lights on you, you're the main event, everything's riding on this fight, and you can't see, like, what are we meant to expect? The idea that Tom Aspinall is meant to continue fighting there is dumb. This shouldn't be happening, right? Like, we shouldn't have fights getting ended because of the fact that they're getting eye poked. Fighters shouldn't feel comfortable that they can stick their fingers out like this and not have any consequences, because it just ruins it for the fans. It ruins it for the fans. It ruins the fighters' careers. Like, it has the potential to literally end their career like that. There is a chance. Again, I'm guessing it's small at this point, otherwise we would have heard of it, but there is a chance this completely ruins Tom Aspinall's career. He never fights again. Could you imagine? It'd be crazy, right? So what are the solutions, right? In my opinion, there's like 2 clear solutions. One is buy those Trevor Whitman gloves or figure out a way to actually make them where they work, right? If you can make it so that it's hard for fighters to extend their fingers out like that, that will help, right? I don't know what happened in the negotiations. Obviously, we've probably all heard the Joe Rogan thing about like the negotiations went sour, but get better gloves. Those ones that they trialed sucked. Obviously, they were cutting people up and everything like that. Like, figure it out. You're a $7.7 billion company. Get gloves that are going to make it so that your fighters don't lose their eyeballs. The other solution is an immediate point deduction for any eye poke, no matter whether it was intentional or not. I don't even know how you have a non-intentional eye poke. You look at guys like Alex Pereira, their hands are always up. Bang, their hands are out. Fingers up, never pokes anybody in the eye. You look at guys that come out of the Fighting Nerds camp like Mauricio Huffy, they use a closed fist to get range. They're not putting their fingers out like this. It's insane. These guys use it as a tactic. John Jones has talked about the fact that he uses it in a tactic. Watch this.
So Daniel Cormier is saying before the fight that I'll end up poking him in the eyes at some point. And the reason why he says that is because I do poke people in the eyes. And it's very illegal, but I do it. I react to people trying to punch me in the face by usually sticking my hand out and pushing their face away. Kind of like you see on TV where like the big brother's holding his little brother and the little brother can't hit him, right? Because his arms isn't like long enough or whatnot. And I do that in real fights. Like if someone's coming at me, I'll just put my hand on their forehead. And a lot of times they end up missing the punch that was intended for my face. And sometimes it lands in people's eyes. And people hate that. They're like, Johnny, you're a very talented fighter. You don't need to use an illegal tactic to be successful. I try to tell people it's not intentional, but now I'm kind of known for it. And it's working.
Anyway, guys, that's my take. That's what I think we should do about this. I just feel like these fighters need better protection than going into an octagon with someone that doesn't care about their interests at all, right? Like, you got to understand, if Gane crippled Tom Aspinall for the rest of his life, I'm sure he'd feel bad maybe, but there's some fighters that wouldn't. I don't think John Jones would feel bad at all if he was to ruin Rashad Evans' career or Rampage's career or Glover Teixeira's career, right? Like, he wouldn't care. So these are the solutions. Get better gloves. Immediate point deductions. If you've got other suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I really think the fans could be doing more. I know we all talk about it, but like, there needs to be more pressure on Dana and on the UFC to do something about this. What a waste of everybody's time yesterday to go through an entire fight card just to have Ciryl Gane double eye poke Tom Aspinall after poking him in the eye a minute earlier. And then the fight's off. The fight's off. A fight that was looking competitive, that could have been one of the best heavyweight UFC fights of all time, if not the best UFC heavyweight fight of all time. Ruined. Because we don't have gloves. And because guys feel too confident that they can stick their fingers out like this and that there's going to be no penalty. Could you imagine if you poke a guy in the eye twice and you've lost 2 points? In a 3-round fight, you need to go win that fight. You need to go finish that fight. And you've got a better chance because you've blinded your opponent, right? Like, anyway, I could go on forever about this. Guys, if you like the video, like it, subscribe to see more. Comment to let me know what you think. I'm super open for a conversation about this. Like, obviously, it's super important to me. I care about this. It sucks to lose your vision. It is one of the scariest things that can happen to you. Right? Could you imagine if you just couldn't see anymore? It's horrible, right? So, anyway, let me know what you think. See ya.